Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sleepy English Academy. Today, I'm going to share with you the story of Emily, a young student who improved her English significantly by practicing at home. Emily's journey is an inspiring example of how dedication and the right techniques can make a huge difference in your language skills. Let's dive into her story. Chapter 1: The Beginning of My English Journey. Hi, my name is Emily, and I want to share with you how I improved my English, all from the comfort of my home. When I first started, I was just like you, unsure of where to begin and feeling overwhelmed. But I knew that if I wanted to succeed in my studies and in life, I had to become better at English. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. Chapter 2: Setting up a daily routine. The first thing I did was set up a daily routine. I knew that practicing a little bit every day was more effective than trying to cram all at once. Every morning, I spent 30 minutes reading English books or articles. At first, it was difficult, and I didn't understand many words. But I kept a dictionary by my side and looked up any words I didn't know. Over time, I started to understand more and more. In the evening, I spent another 30 minutes listening to English. I watched English TV shows, listened to podcasts, and even used apps that had English audiobooks. The more I listened, the more familiar I became with the language's rhythm and pronunciation. Chapter 3: Practicing Speaking. I knew that if I wanted to speak English well, I needed to practice speaking. But since I was at home and didn't have many people to practice with, I had to get creative. I started by talking to myself in English. I'd describe my day, my thoughts, or even what I was cooking. It felt a bit silly at first, but it really helped me get comfortable with speaking out loud. Then I found language exchange partners online. We would chat via video calls a few times a week. They would help me with my English, and I would help them with their language. This was a great way to get real conversation practice and to learn how to speak more naturally. Chapter 4: Improving my reading skills. To improve my reading skills, I started reading English books that were a bit challenging for me. At first, it was slow, and I had to look up a lot of words. But as I kept reading, I noticed that I was improving. I could understand more without having to use the dictionary so much. I also started reading out loud to practice my pronunciation. This not only helped me become a better reader, but it also improved my speaking skills. I also used English subtitles when watching movies and shows. This helped me connect the spoken words with their written form, making it easier for me to learn new vocabulary and understand sentence structure. Chapter 5: Writing to Enhance Learning. Writing was another key part of my learning process. Every day, I would write a short journal entry in English. I wrote about my day, my thoughts, or anything that came to mind. Writing helped me organize my thoughts and practice using the new words I was learning. Sometimes, I would even write short stories or essays to challenge myself. I would also get my writing checked by friends or teachers who were good at English. Their feedback helped me see where I was making mistakes and how I could improve. Chapter 6: Staying Motivated. There were times when I felt discouraged. Learning a new language is not easy, and there were days when I didn't feel like practicing. But I reminded myself why I started: to open up more opportunities for myself, to travel, to connect with more people. I also set small goals for myself, like learning a certain number of new words each week or finishing a book in English. Achieving these goals kept me motivated and showed me that I was making progress. Chapter 7: My Results and Future Goals. After months of consistent practice, I noticed a big improvement in my English. I was able to understand conversations better, speak more confidently, and even write essays without much trouble. I'm still on my journey, and I know I'll continue to improve. My next goal is to watch a movie in English without subtitles and understand everything. To everyone out there learning English, I want to say, don't give up. With dedication and the right approach, you can improve your English too, just like I did. Conclusion. Thank you for listening to Emily's story. I hope it inspires you to take charge of your own English learning journey. Remember, practice makes perfect, and with time and effort, you will see the results. If you enjoyed this audiobook, don't forget to subscribe to Sleepy English Academy for more stories and tips on learning English. Keep practicing, and until next time, happy learning. Chapter 1. A New Beginning. Hello, I'm Sophia, and I want to share my story with you. I wasn't always confident in my English. In fact, there was a time when I could barely hold a conversation without feeling nervous. But I knew that if I wanted to travel, meet new people, and advance in my studies, I needed to become fluent in English. So, I decided to start learning at home. Chapter 2. Immersing myself in English. One of the first things I did was to immerse myself in English as much as possible. I changed the language on my phone and computer to English. I started following English-speaking influencers on social media, and I subscribed to English YouTube channels that matched my interests. This constant exposure helped me get used to the language, even when I wasn't actively studying. I also started listening to English music and podcasts during my daily activities. Whether I was cooking, cleaning, or exercising, I always had something playing in English in the background. This helped me get accustomed to the language without feeling like I was studying. Chapter 3. Creating a study space. To stay focused, I created a dedicated study space in my room. I made sure it was comfortable and free from distractions. I filled it with all the materials I needed: books, notebooks, a laptop, and some motivational quotes to keep me inspired. Having this space made it easier to stay disciplined and consistent with my practice. Every day, I spent at least an hour in my study space, focusing on different aspects of English: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Having a structured routine helped me make steady progress. Chapter 4. Reading and expanding vocabulary. Reading was a big part of my learning process. I started with simple books like children's stories and young adult novels, and gradually moved on to more challenging material. I kept a notebook where I wrote down new words and phrases, along with their meanings and example sentences. I reviewed this notebook regularly to reinforce what I had learned. I also used flashcards to memorize vocabulary. I would review them during short breaks or before going to bed. The more words I learned, the more confident I became in my reading and writing. Chapter 5. Speaking with confidence. Speaking was the hardest part for me. I was afraid of making mistakes and felt shy about my accent. But I knew that if I didn't practice, I would never improve. So, I started speaking English out loud whenever I was alone. I'd narrate what I was doing, practice conversations, and even pretend I was giving a speech. To build more confidence, I joined an online language exchange group where I could practice speaking with others. The more I spoke, the more comfortable I became. I realized that making mistakes was a natural part of learning, and the people I practiced with were always supportive and encouraging. Chapter 6. Writing to solidify learning. Writing was another key part of my routine. I kept a daily journal in English, where I wrote about my thoughts, goals, and experiences. Writing every day helped me organize my thoughts and apply the new vocabulary I was learning. It also allowed me to see my progress over time. I also joined online forums where I could participate in discussions and ask questions. This not only improved my writing, but also helped me connect with other English learners who were going through the same journey. Chapter 7. Staying motivated and overcoming challenges. There were times when I felt like giving up. Learning a new language is a long and sometimes frustrating process, but I reminded myself of my goals and the reasons why I started. I celebrated my small victories, like understanding a difficult article or having a conversation without getting stuck. These moments kept me motivated. I also found that setting specific, achievable goals was important. Instead of just saying, I want to improve my English, I set goals like, I want to read 3 books in English this month, or I want to have a 15-minute conversation with a native speaker without switching to my native language. These goals gave me something concrete to work towards. Chapter 8. Reflecting on my progress. Looking back, I'm amazed at how far I've come. From struggling with basic sentences to being able to read, write, and speak confidently in English, the journey has been challenging but incredibly rewarding. I'm still learning, and I know that I will continue to improve. My advice to anyone learning English is to be patient with yourself and to keep pushing forward, even when it gets tough. With consistent practice and a positive attitude, you can achieve fluency in English too. Conclusion. Thank you for listening to Sophia's story. We hope it encourages you to keep practicing and improving your English. Remember, learning a language is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Don't forget to subscribe to Sleepy English Academy for more stories and tips on learning English. Until next time, keep learning and stay motivated. Subscribe for more videos. Your support helps me create more content. Thanks for watching.